Thank you, Steffi, for the very kind introduction. It is true, we have been working together for over 9 years, and you correctly remember my very first year. That was a bit of a nightmare. I mean, with the supermodel not showing up to the first panel, and I think actually, is Benjamin in the room? Benjamin Hubble? Well, he's not here. So Benjamin was the chaperone that specific day, and ended up, beautiful DLD story, ended up to be the right-hand man, the chief of staff of Marissa Mayer. So I think that taught him a lot. Anyway, so it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be here today. And I would like to begin with introducing my great distinguished panelists. I'd like to start with Angela Missoni. Angela Missoni is very much family as well. She's the creative director of Missoni. She's the daughter of Ottavio and Rosita Missoni, and she's the force behind the successes of the brand of the last 10 years. And for someone that might not know, Missoni is very famous for the strong heritage and the unique world-famous pattern. Angela, please join us on stage. You can sit wherever you want. Our second panelist is Jean-Claude Biver. He's the charismatic chairman of Hublot. Is the historic CEO of the brand. Is known for his passion for traditional craftsmanship and innovative marketing. Is a real true pioneer in the luxury industry, having relaunched iconic Swiss brands such as Omega and Blancpain. Jean-Claude, please join us on the stage. This panel will explore the dynamic between brands, marketing and communication, and obviously the latest digital state-of-the-art opportunity. Because of that, and to spark the debate, we have also invited Mahbod Moghadam, the co-founder of Rap Genius. For anyone that does not know it yet, Rap Genius is a platform providing a complete new direction in communication. With over 35 million monthly visitors, Rap Genius is a community-powered site in which users are able to annotate music lyrics, poetry, news, and photos. So I'd like to welcome Mahmoud to join us on stage. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. We will start with the notion that marketing is no longer a one-way channel, but has become an interactive dialogue with the customer through different social media tools. So let me start with you, Mahbod. You have recently launched a fashion activity. You've recently launched Fashion Genius, correct? I think it's a couple of months ago. It's probably premiering as we speak. So tell us more about that, why you've launched that, how you're going to integrate that into your existing platform, and how that will interact with the industry, meaning the fashion industry.
Well, we don't launch anything. We respond to things that people are already putting up. One of my best friends, Dan Berger, great man in the history of Rap Genius fashion, was talking to Daily Candy, a big fashion blog, and he realized through a bug, believe it or not, in the website, that you could annotate photos on the site. And he's talking to the fashion website, and he said, why don't we create Fashion Genius? And it started taking off like wildfire. And can I get the internet to project? It's projecting over there?
It's there, yeah.
So if you look over there, this is Missoni's new collection, and I can get the annotation to any photo, the paintings that inspired it.
It's like Monet.
And of course, it also tells you where to buy it, how much it is. I wish I could afford these. They're absolutely beautiful. And then Angela was kind enough to set up a verified account. Anyone can set up an account on Rap Genius. You go to rapgenius.com/sign up, and you can annotate the Bible, you can annotate Obama's speeches, you can even annotate what you're wearing. But Angela annotated her own dress, and she wrote a beautiful annotation, which is, this first dress is inspired by sunflower fields, because you have the dark inside, the seeds are dark. And it looks like a foggy day, but the sun is about to come out. So this is how verified artists are going to fit into Fashion Genius. Eventually, Fashion Genius is going to let you not only annotate the photo, but annotate the dress, the handbag, the shoes.
But Mahmoud, just maybe here everybody is very digitalized and knows everything about digital. But like maybe just explain what
how it works.
Yes, how it works. What has it special? They said.
Basically, Angela wants to know.
Basically, I said I think it's like a Wikipedia meet Twitter, right?
Yeah. I think there's no better way to put it. That we think Wikipedia and Twitter have had a baby here. The additional advantage is that famous people are involved. I guess Twitter does that too. It's a close reading of everything. With fashion right now, you can only annotate the global photo. That's a shame, because once you can annotate piece by piece your collection, I think you're going to add even more poetry.
Then we can sell it, right?
Sorry?
After that, we can sell it, right?
Yeah, of course. No, every piece. And then the biggest thing we have that neither of them has is IQ. You get IQ points for annotating. So right now, Missoni's IQ is at 110.
But it started 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, it started 5 minutes ago,
Give
and it's going to be shooting up like wildfire.
Well, I think Angela is a fair question, and you want to know how much this tool can help your brand to become more visible on the digital space and can help in the social media drive eventually sales.
Yeah, I guess everything that gives more visibility helps your sales, right?
Absolutely. Okay, Jean-Claude, I have a question for you. Obviously, we're talking about digitalization, and digitalization is changing our world fundamentally. Through history, creative minds such as yourself and such as Angela have always been the translator of social changes. So how far can traditional brands such as yours, or actually such as Missoni, embrace such a new dynamics, such a new interactive dynamics?
There is no limit, and there is no selection. Everybody, if you are a very traditional brand or a very avant-garde brand, the digital revolution is just a communication. And why should not a little brand producing 5,000 kilos of the best cheese in the world, why wouldn't they use the digital world? On the contrary, they should do it. So for me, whatever your brand is, you know, I have owned the brand Blancpain, and then I restructured Omega, and now Hublot. When we started at Hublot with 20 million turnover in 2004, what did we use? We used digital. And we were probably the first luxury brand to enter the digital world. And entering the digital world has not only the advantage to reach a huge population, but it has the incredible advantage to reach the new customer, the customer of tomorrow, the customer you won't meet in a polo tournament. For instance, I have nothing against polo. We are sponsor of the Gstaad polo tournament. And that is a new dimension. You speak for the first time to the today's customer, and you speak to the tomorrow's customer, and you speak to somebody who will never be a customer. So you get the whole range. That's so important.
Angela, do you want to add something to that?
No, I can say that really, exactly, it's like that. And for a brand like Missoni, who actually think it's one of the smaller brand, but with a huge name.
And history.
And history, and really the digital really helped. Amazing, and I think it's just starting the digital era. We really have a small advertising budget on papers, and but I really realized in 2011, when I first did the first campaign with Jürgen Teller, with the family, which was really a different campaign, who went basically against the, how do you say, all the fake, really straight images, and it went more natural, right? Yeah, and we went really to, I wanted to tell something more natural, more real, more. And this was possible only through the digital and internet, because otherwise we don't have the power to have that on paper. But it had an amazing response, and since that moment, really, I said, yes, that's the way. That's the way also a small brand can communicate and can get in contact with the world if just you have something interesting to say, right?
Well, and I think that's lead to the next question, that is around music. Music is such a powerful tool in Rap Genius, but music is also a powerful tool in the fashion industry. I think I can briefly mention, and you can talk more about your collaboration with Jay-Z around music. Obviously, in your case, music is a center pillar of your platform. Let me ask you something, Mahbod. Can Rap Genius be a tool for learning, discussing a brand message that eventually influence the brand with the social media or through the social media?
Oh, sir. Well, Jean-Claude, I thought would fill the audience in on the involvement with Jay-Z. You were telling me about it backstage, and I thought it was interesting. I had no idea about the collaboration.
Yes, as many of these music icons, they love cars, they love watches. And one day I saw Jay-Z with one of my watches. I was very pleased. And then I saw him again. So finally, I have 5 children. The youngest is, thanks God for me, only 13 years old. The oldest is 33. And I learned from the young man who is 13 years old. And he said to me, Papa, it was in 2010, you should contact Jay-Z. He's important. Even 13-year-old man. And I did it. I got in touch with Jay-Z. And then I met Jay-Z. And Jay-Z told me, are you crazy? I don't wear just your watch. I'm a watch freak. I wear Rolex, Audemars Piguet, and yours also. I said, but Mr. Jay-Z, can we not do something together? And we came out with the solution that we would make a partnership. He would not be ambassador. We would make a partnership, and we would make a special watch for Jay-Z, which we would sell. And since then, we are in many of his songs. He wears the watch. He offers watches to his wife. And I think for us in America, it was a huge boost to the brand. And nobody, you know, our watches, our average retail price in Munich is, in our shop, is 23,500 euro. Nobody would have believed ever that Jay-Z could help to promote a brand that sells an average price of 23,500 per watch. And it's not true. Jay-Z did a fantastic job for us.
And Mahbod,
Genius, right?
Building the watch together is also a perfect way to align your incentives. That's what I thought was the ingenious...
Well, and maybe that brings me to a similar question. Can Rap Genius become the connector between those collaborations? I mean, rather than just annotate lyrics.
If you guys take a look at the screen, is it up? Well, you know, wow, there we go. What I wanted to show you guys is you can look up the name of any brand, and it tells you every time that it's been used in song lyrics. So this is everyone mentioning, and they're listed in order of popularity. So Kanye West saying, you know, Coke money, Hublot, my watch better. This is Jay-Z and Kanye West, alert, Hublots. And then Jay-Z's Picasso Baby, which was the first line that Hublot annotated. It's, and Hublot, I'm still the man to watch, Hublot on my left hand or not. So, and it talks about, this is the annotation that our community wrote. It talks about your endorsement deal. After seeing Jay-Z wear a Hublot, the CEO of the company, that's you, Monsieur Biver, invited him to Geneva to tour the factory in 2009. Hova later rocked a Hublot in the Otis video pictured above. And then Hublot says on the annotation, be the first, different, and unique. And don't forget that innovation is more powerful than knowledge. And I couldn't agree more. And you know, Jay-Z reads this site. Picasso Baby is one of the most popular songs on his new album. I guarantee you that he's going to see this annotation, especially because it's in green. Everything else is in orange, and then your annotation is in green. And he's going to be thrilled. He's going to be so happy that you did this, and hopefully it'll inspire him to write an annotation in response to yours, and you guys can have a discussion together on the song page.
Well, I think that is a proof that this is a very powerful tool that can have a tremendous impact on brand extension. I mean, is there a similar case you want to show about Missoni?
Yeah, well, let's look up the results to Missoni. And I was embarrassed. I was apologizing to Angela that the first song that comes up has some parolacce in it. It's a little bit dirty.
Parolacce being like some heavy...
Yeah, some dirty words. So I'm very sorry about that, Angela. And you know, Pusha T is actually a friend of mine, and I'm going to tell him to please watch his language when he's discussing the Missoni brand.
You know what? This can bring it to something that maybe it's missing in the digital era, because it goes so fast that we don't have time to have policy. There's no time for education. There's no one teach children in junior school, in primary school, how to use internet, the way to behave in internet. And this, I think, it's going to be something really, really necessary. We see bad behavior with males. We see, because there is no education. It really, we got it, we didn't know, and everybody used it just as it want, right?
Well, internet and hip-hop both started out like the Wild Wild West, but they're coming under, they're becoming gentrified. And Pusha T, he's a wonderful rapper. I love his rap, but he's an older rapper. And the new generation of rappers, they don't discuss drugs and that sort of content. Here we have a fabulous lyric that mentions Missoni, and it mentions it in a much more gentrified style. Of course, you know, what's funny is Pusha T's on this song too. Or I'm sorry, it's Pusha T saying it again. But he says, Hermes throw pillows, Missoni couch, and they clash on it. So he has the Hermes pillows, the Missoni couch, they clash, but he likes that. That only adds to his style. And then for our annotation, we have a photo of the Missoni couch, which is a beautiful couch. And this is the trend of hip-hop. You know, this is why I think a luxury brand not wanting to be associated with hip-hop is making a mistake. Because right now, hip-hop is no longer the music of the lower class. The rich and the poor, what they have in common is that hip-hop is at the cutting edge of their culture. And especially who's truly focused on hip-hop as the focus of their culture is the youth. So anyone who wants to tap into youth, hip-hop is going to be a necessary element of that.
It's the same.
It's the language, basically, right?
What you just said for music is exactly the same for football. Football is not anymore just a popular sport. it's the whole, from the men to women, from politician to workers, from rich to poor, it's everybody.
Vertical.
So for the first time, we see now luxury brands entering football. And I entered football in 2006. Some people believed we were crazy to enter this sport. And today, I can tell you, we are quite pleased to be in football.
No, and I think to that respect, Jean-Claude, you've always been innovating. So I think probably Hublot is your first luxury watch signing, Mahbod, and I think probably will be your first for quite a while because he is ahead of the game and everybody.
Yeah. And you know, these are new artists to the Fashion Genius family, but as their involvement grows, the involvement of their fans is going to grow too. These are your artist pages. This is the Hublot artist page. And on it, you can see who has the highest Hublot IQ. And in this case, it's the rap genius, Jen. She's one of the people who was a founder of Fashion Genius and is a big fan of both of your brands. And she has...
I'm learning.
Yeah. She has 95 Hublot IQ. And her Missoni IQ is 75. And, but then again, Missoni IQ is 110.
Well, interesting. I mean, I think, Jean-Claude, you might have to take him on a tour of your company.
Definitely, yes.
Let me ask something, unless you have something more to say, let me ask something to Angela that maybe is a little bit more traditional, maybe less digital.
Traditionally, it's a bad word at this point, right?
No, because I think I recall a video that Anna Piaggi did with your parents many, many years ago, where she asked to define the brand by breaking down every single word of the alphabet. So it was sort of like a code that she asked to break down. So can it be that maybe what Anna Piaggi was doing many years ago was the sort of equivalent of rap genius today?
You know, I think Anna Piaggi was an amazing woman with an amazing IQ. And she was a great journalist in fashion and talent scout. I mean, she had millions of talents. And she understood that Missoni was a language. And it had a vocabulary. And from that down, she went down to the alphabet. So she realized an interview made of an alphabet. So, and what we realize today with the digital, that words are again really very, very important. The written words are very important.
So it is what a predecessor of what an annotation would be today. Let's change subject and let's talk about another very hot topics in your industry is creative collaboration. We briefly touched about Jay-Z. I think, Jean-Claude, you also did a very interesting creative collaboration with Monster, the headphone company. And maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that too. Angela, I think Missoni did an interesting collaboration with Converse, the sneaker company. But the question is really, we're entering a 3D printing revolution area. So can the 3D printing become a tool that in the hands of the consumer allow them to customize existing design icon or just design in general?
Absolutely.
And if the answer is yes, are we seeing a new broad and type of collaboration here that involve user, consumer, so more mass, if you like?
I think we are just really at the beginning. We are going to see something growing very fast. I do think, yes, that you can rely your customer or your users with personalizing their own. I mean, we've seen already, I think the first one who used to personalize the product was maybe Nike, right? Doing the gym shoes, right? And that you could design your own way.
Nike ID.
Yeah, and it was already, I mean, it was already like 5 or 6 years ago.
Well, but now 3D printing
it's
is
enormous.
becoming...
And now you can really do it with the 3D printing. So I don't know if you could use wool or natural fiber with the 3D printing, so this would be a difference. But for sure you can realize object, you can repair your things, you probably can, I don't even have I imagine it's so big that I don't even have this
So
the
but Angela,
vision to
you're-
imagine it, right?
Angela, you're saying that you will be happy to allow consumer to reinterpret your design in a customization form.
Yeah, absolutely. But also, I think that maybe in the future, it could also be something, it could be for free, or it could be in the future something that it could be that you pay also for, right? That you get the right to do something.
And Jean-Claude, I know that this is a very hot topic also in your industry, in the Swiss watch industry. What's your view on that? I mean, would you really see an evolution in 3D printing around watches as well?
It depends of the technology of the watch and of the price level. We are a little bit like the car industry, and it's difficult to choose your car on the internet. You can go and make a configuration if you want the seat black or brown, if you want a special additional air condition, but it's limited. And I think for us in the watch industry, we have a certain limit. People cannot choose colors because at the end of the day, the color is the material. Unless you make watches in plastic, then you can choose any color. So you see, we have a certain limit. Now comes another interesting thing. In the upper part, the higher part level of the brands, people want to buy a communication tool. People want to buy something that other people recognize. So I communicate, I'm elegant, depending on the watch. I can communicate, I'm sporty, I'm strong, I'm rich, whatever. And if you sell a communicating tool, the people don't want to change it. They want the watch to look standard so that everybody can recognize immediately what they are wearing and who they are. So there are some limits in our business. But if you go down to Swatch watch, I think it would be genius because Swatch watch is a little bit like Nike. It's fun, it's fashion, it's young, it's dynamic, high quality. And there you can probably go for that type of...
Mahbod, would your platform be suitable for 3D printing, licensing, design, social media driven, where they can exchange information, they can input, they can actually become like a collective work, if you like?
So we have, this isn't our main monetization strategy, but we have two merchandise ideas that we're going to push into action quite soon. And one is extremely high-end, and one is more affordable for everyone. So the affordable one is any annotation on the site is going to have a button that says, print this on a t-shirt. And remember that it's community-driven. So you could be an amateur rapper, you just wrote in the meaning of one of your own favorite lyrics, and you can instantly get it written on a shirt. And then, so I think that's going to be really cool.
So that's the customization part.
That's the more affordable, it's going to be a $20 t-shirt. I'm going to show you, so this is one of my own raps. I rap and I write poetry. I'm sorry that I have to give a shameless self-promotion. So I had a line in the rap that I say, get back to the basics, back to butt naked. And they say, back to the basics because we were all born naked. That's the community annotation. And then my friend Dan, who was the father of Fashion Genius, the next day, 24 hours after I made this rap, he made this shirt for me. Let me show you guys the shirt. You see me...
This is you rapping.
No, this is me annotating it. But you see the shirt right there. The shirt says, back to the basics, back to butt naked. And he had to get that made on Zazzle. So you know, good for Zazzle, bad for us. But that's only a matter of time before any annotation comes on a shirt. The high-end version, which up until now, we were collaborating, we've been talking with Melinda Gloss, who is a French luxury menswear brand. We were going to make a very, very expensive cashmere sweater with them, the most expensive cashmere sweater you've ever seen, and it has a Kanye lyric on it. It says Hampton's blouse, which is a reference to his song New Slaves. And this extremely expensive cashmere sweater is on sale on the site for 1 Bitcoin. That's the only way you can buy it. But if you have 10,000 IQ or over, the price drops to half a Bitcoin. And if you have 100,000 IQ, it drops to 1/10 of a Bitcoin. Now, I think this would be amazing to do with you guys if you're interested. You know, like the Hublot watch would probably have to be like 10 Bitcoin or something. But
have to be a genius.
Yeah, let's do it.
And
Yeah, I told him.
It would be an honor. It would be an honor. And the most exciting part. I got it.
Speed is an important factor in the process of success.
Well, also, Mr. Biver, we can sell your cheeses on the site for Bitcoin.
They'll give you IQ commission.
Steffi's asking for her commission. But then the other exciting element of this scheme for us is that it makes Rap IQ interchangeable with Bitcoin, which is going to be our first step in making our Genius IQ into an international form of cryptocurrency.
Very interesting. Well, let's move to the next subject. Another very hot topic in both your industry is wearable technology. Actually, let me start with you, Angela. Opening ceremony, up-and-coming US brand has just signed a deal with Intel for a number of wearable technology devices. And I do know that Missoni is very careful when it comes to innovation in terms of textile and new technology. Is there anything there that you are thinking to do? Is there anything there that you would like to do? Again, what I'm trying to say, combining the great heritage that your company represents in fabric innovation and potentially allowing and adapting that to wearable technology.
I think that for a company like us, where the artisanal work and how can I say, the natural yarns are very important, there's not much space for, but for instance, we started using a rubber coat wool that was possible only through, of course, new technologies, but not really in the process. Okay, you got a computer, but not really in the process of our product because it's too much artisanal at the moment. But I do see things which are very important in the process of selling, or we just started to use the RFID system to track down everything that happened to a piece that you produce from the first moment till the last. And this, you know, of course, I hope that my customer, there is a little scissor, you can cut it out. We don't want to tag down our customer for all their life, but at least till the product is in a store, we know what happened to that piece.
That's a traceability element.
Yeah, traceability stuff, yeah.
Right,
but not much on the yarn itself. Yes, you can twist it more, but those are little things that can happen to the process.
I would personally be honored to have a Missoni tie that it's tracked from when it's silk being woven, and then when I'm wearing it, anywhere that I wear it, it knows where I'm going.
Yeah, this is possible.
That's a good wearable technology application.
This is possible.
You got another deal here.
And you know what? The other day, somebody, I think my son, actually, it's always the children, right? Luckily, that's why we love our families and our children, because they keep us young and they keep us updated with new technologies. And he was just telling me about somebody somebody, a country who develop a system that they use for other kind of reasons, but now it's available. And I mean, they can track you everywhere. You can put that little thing everywhere, but I'm scared. I don't want them to track me everywhere.
Google is already doing it, so.
Yeah.
And Jean-Claude, let me ask you. Hello? Yeah, let me ask you.
No.
I think it's coming and going. Let me ask you, now, wearable technologies are now also a very topic industry. Is it very hot topics in your industry as well? How is the trend impacting the Swiss watch industry? And is it impossible to think that one day we'll see a Hublot smartwatch?
Never say never. But from today's point of view, I cannot see that. Why? Because if you sell a watch at the average price of 25,000 euro, and after 1 year it's obsolete, it's a problem. Because we sell art, we sell culture, we sell tradition. Art, culture, tradition is love, and love is eternal. In other words, we sell eternity. A mechanical watch is a piece of eternity in a box. If that's true, how can I produce something that is obsolete in 12 or 18 months and that can never be repaired in 10 years? It's impossible.
That's fair
So
enough.
conceptually, I cannot.
But if you were,
Totally agree. On my
if you-
point of view, it's the same, yeah.
but if you would be still at Swatch,
Oh, that's different. Now, I said we are making. If you are on another level and you are part of the watch industry, then you don't have the same barriers as we, because we are in the watchmaking art. We are not in the watchmaking industry. If you are in the industry, I strongly believe I would really do all the efforts as a Swiss to get a partnership with ideally Apple and to make the iSwatch, for instance, because I believe this market is just huge and the Swiss should take care not to let it run to somebody else. So we should really try to get into that field.
May I ask you a question? Don't you think that maybe the digital and the evolution of the technology can make it easier and cheaper to produce a watch? Or the same would be for me to produce a sweater.
The
of course,
question
or-
is easy. If your watches are made with commands from the head and the fingers are moving,
Yeah.
then nothing can help.
No, but that's what we like, yes. But anyway,
Eventually, a
no,
robot
because that's
could
why we're
help.
talking about two companies who makes about artisans, the strength, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and do you think it will last forever? Yeah.
I think art is forever because art is love.
Yeah.
And in Piazza San Marco, the angle that are hitting
They
on
will
the...
always be
they
like
will,
that.
And it's always, it can be repaired.
It's
It's
timeless.
from the 1600th century and it still works. The TV of my grandmother cannot work anymore.
Yeah, you
have
throw
to throw it
them.
away. My old Nokia phone cannot work anymore.
Yeah.
And here the angel, Piazza San Marco, they are working.
they do their job.
Great
Day
answer.
after day.
Yeah. Great answer.
I'm supposed to be the technophile on this panel, but trust me, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm a huge technophobe, and I hate all things technological, but what's cool about Fashion Genius and the work that you guys did here today on the site is that this is going to be up forever. It's not like a tweet, which is like a fart in the wind. It's here for one moment and it's gone.
Yeah.
it's going to be here for aliens to read when they land and they're analyzing us. And also, I'm honored that both of you put up your Fashion Genius accounts not as individuals, but as your brand. And you know, Angela, you promised me that the entire Missoni family is going to be on the Fashion Genius account, and you know, you have to get Margarita and everyone involved.
Yeah.
I think with this positive note, we can probably end the panel. I've seen the time is up. I think what we can summarizing and saying your two words has merged. I think Mahbod is leaving the room with two very good deals, and Steph is going to come and collect the commission.